When your cell phone, your vacuum cleaner or washing machine breaks down, it's annoying at first. It usually happens when you need it the least. Secondly, it's particularly frustrating when you realize that most products cannot be repaired easily or at all, and you have to buy a new appliance. This is exactly where the right to repair should come in, which I am fighting for in the European Parliament and which I want to push through in this legislative period. Products should be designed so that they last longer, can be repaired easily, cheap and safely, and spare parts are easily accessible and removable. If broken products can be repaired easily, this saves money, energy and resources, because we can no longer afford to produce, consume and throw away. And if we don't change this, we will need 3 Earths by 2050 to satisfy our hunger for raw materials. This linear economy is fueling the climate crisis, leading to environmental destruction and human rights violations in raw material extractions, making our supply chains vulnerable to crises and our economy and companies dependent on raw material imports. At the same time, e-waste is the fastest growing mountain of waste in the world. One thing is clear to me: our way of doing business must change from a linear economy to a circular economy. A circular economy means keeping materials and raw materials in closed material flows, designing and producing products sustainably, using them for longer, reusing, repairing, and finally recycling them. The right to repair is therefore an important building block in the transition to a circular economy. And the figures speak for themselves. Repair is still far from being the norm in the EU. Yet 77% of consumers would rather repair their broken goods than buy new ones. However, only 22% of broken goods are actually repaired. And this is due to a lack of repairability or lack of repair service, which is often only possible via authorized workshops. Around a third of consumers decide against repairs because the repair costs are too high. This makes it all the more incomprehensible what we in the EU had to wait so long for the EU Commission's legislative proposal to reconcile consumer interests with climate and resource protection. Now we are finally in the trilogue phase, negotiating the final legislative text, which I have the pleasure to do as chair of the Internal Market Committee, as well as shadow rapporteur for the Greens, where I am negotiating the parliamentary position for the Green Group. I am happy we found a strong position of the European Parliament, which I can briefly lay out for you. The core is the obligation for manufacturers to repair their products for a certain period of time and the prioritization of repair over replacement in the event of a product defect within the framework of the legal guarantee. In its mandate for the trilogue, the European Parliament clarifies and sharpens the Commission text, despite massive resistance from the Conservatives and Liberals and against pressure from the industry lobby, which was able to pursue some weakening. The European Parliament's report is a breakthrough for tinkerers. We Greens were able to achieve that spare parts and instructions must be available for independent workshops and also for do-it-yourself enthusiasts at home at a reasonable price and at least for the expected lifetime of the product. Unfortunately, the Conservatives have restricted access to highly specialized diagnostic tools to examine products before repair, citing trade secrets, which currently often stands in the way of an analysis of the damage and subsequent repair by independent workshops. From a green perspective, the expansion of the products covered by the directive to include bicycles and smartphones and tablets is particularly welcome. In addition, products will be included as soon as the Commission establishes new rules for them, for example, as part of the new eco-design regulation. So when lifetime requirements are set, they will also be covered by the right to repair. The more products, the easier for consumers, the better for the planet. We Greens were able to get some of our demands for a universal right to repair enshrined in the parliamentary position. For example, that manufacturers must not further hinder repair through certain practices, such as the serialization of spare parts or in contracts, or that they reject already repaired products for repair. We were able to achieve two major benefits for consumers in terms of the legal guarantee. The extension of the legal guarantee by 1 year after the product has been repaired will be a great incentive to choose repair if the product is defective. And consumers will in future be able to contact the manufacturer directly for the repair of the product and will no longer have to go through the retailer. And this puts manufacturers under an obligation and becomes an incentive to design products in a more repair-friendly way if they have to repair them themselves. We would have liked to see more in the so-called hierarchy of remedies. Only if repair is cheaper than replacement and only if the repair does not cause significant inconvenience to consumers should repair be preferred to replacement. To protect resources and make repair the norm, we would have prioritized repair more strongly. Furthermore, member states are encouraged to strengthen repair through financial incentives like vouchers, repair bonuses, etc. We would have liked to see a system of extended producer responsibility, as in France, in which manufacturers jointly pay for repairs. During the negotiations at committee level, there were intense debates about the form for informing consumers about repairs. The conservative liberal side succeeded in making it voluntary instead of mandatory as the Commission had proposed. It gave in to the industry lobby, which warned against too much bureaucracy. This is a step backwards in terms of consumer information. The parliamentary position also provides for facilitations for SMEs, such as training and support with implementation. We also came across the issue of online marketplaces in the right to repair. Unfortunately, as in other dossiers, we did not succeed in finding a majority to make them more responsible if they cannot name an economic operator who would be responsible for the repair. This leaves a loophole for consumers ordering online from third countries. I hope all of this now clarifies the Parliament position. So thanks for your interest and your invaluable work in Repair Cafés. It is thanks to your movement that we got the strong text, and I will give everything to get a good result before the European elections. Thank you.